Hi folks, this is Anthony. Welcome back to my show. I cover a lot of different topics on this channel, but I do a lot on stock investing, even though I'm not a stock broker, not an analyst, not a representative of the industry. I don't work in the industry. It's just something that I've been really interested in since 1987 when the stock market dropped 22% in one day. So I started studying about it. And so I'm just interested in making videos to help other people understand it a little bit more. I was up 2.48% today in my regular account. The NASDAQ was up slightly under 1%. I think the S&P 500 was up like 0.68%. In this one, which is a slightly different one than the SPY, it was up 0.71%. My purpose of these videos is to get people interested in investing in the stock market, generally in long-term, well-diversified portfolios. And one way you can do that, this is not advice, just an idea, is putting your money into something like the Vanguard S&P 500. This is actually, I think, 504 or roughly 500 of the top stocks in the United States. SPY is another one, and I think they invest in 504, something like that. Now you may say, well, what about other countries? Almost every stock in this company, which is based in the United States, is going, or this mutual fund, is going to have business overseas. So you're not only getting American business, but overseas business. Now, if you want to invest in foreign or international stock funds, that's perfectly okay. But this is a really easy one that the average American that's interested in starting to get into the stock market can look at. Now, I'm going to look at specific stocks, so don't turn off the video right now. But let's just look at the past 5 days up. You'd be almost 2% if you'd be in this. 4.44% over 1 month. 8.5% over 6 months. Year to date, 13%. Now, you're not going to get this every year, but this is just an example. Last 52 weeks, you'd be up 31% in this. Plus, it pays dividends, which are not included in that price there. 5 years, you'd be up 100%. So you divide 100 by 5, you get roughly 20%. So 20%. But, if you bought here, it went down for a year. And then max, going back to 2010, so about 15 years, you'd be up 712% plus the dividends. Okay, so that's one way if you're afraid or you're not sure about investing in individual stocks, to put your money in, forget about it until retirement. Okay, so let's look at some individual stocks that I have in my regular account, not my Roth account. Berkshire Hathaway, so I've known about this for 30 years. Obviously, this is Class B. The main shares are, I don't know, $700,000 now. This Class B represents, I don't know, a fraction of one of the regular shares. Anyway, I bought some, a week or two ago, and of course, it went down on some news, but it was up today, 0.85%. Past 5 days, down a little bit. There were just some announcements from, I think, Warren Buffett that some things can't be sustained, but he likes to talk down kind of the short to medium term, but he's bullish on the future. Of course, he's 98. He's stepping down from the company that he's run for the past half century. 1 month, you're down 2%. 6 months, you're down 1%. Not too bad. Year to date, you're up a respectable 3.17%. 1 year, you're up almost 8%. 5 years, you're up 122%. So you'd be up more here than in that one VOOG. But this doesn't pay dividends. And then max, this only shows from 1996, but 1,839%. Okay, not recommending that you get into any of these. I recommend that you do your own research to see if these are part of a well-diversified long-term portfolio for you. This is one I bought very recently. Just looked good. Evidently, this is what professional brokers use for the stock market. Okay, so it's up 2.38% today. There was a drop, of course, after I bought it. It always seems to happen, but on the past week or so, 2.34%. 1 month, you're up 16%. 6 months, up 16%. Year to date, up 44%. 1 year, you're up 128%. 5 years, you're up 400%. In max, going back to 2007, you could have bought at $7.83. Now look at this chart. And of course, charts don't predict the future, and they're not logarithmic. Okay, so you often see spikes up here that, compared to the rest of this, are distorted. But quite frankly, sometimes you have to hold for a long time. You could have bought this back at less than $4 a share, and it went sideways for years and years and years, and then it started going up. Then it still basically went sideways for many years. So, could it crash? Could it go sideways? Possibly. Do your own research. Check out, the fundamentals. Check out the financials, as you should with anything. Don't do anything that somebody on the internet has mentioned. NVIDIA, of course, it's done pretty good, up over 1% today, up 4.28% in 5 days. 1 month, up 14%, up 36% for 6 months. Year to date, 32%. 52 weeks, you're up 74%. 1,531% in 5 years, so that's roughly 300% a year. And of course, almost roughly 500,000% since 1999. Okay, only a couple more in this account. Palantir, I've been talking about this back when it was in the teens. I recommended people look at it a few years ago. I knew that it would become profitable. It had some very smart people working on it. Up 18% in the past 5 days. Up 33% in a month. Now, you're not going to get these forever. Just be aware of that. Don't get excited and think that these can be replicated every week, every month. Up 60% in 6 months. Year to date, 148%. 52 weeks, it's up 538%. Up 1,900% in the past 5 years. And it's only been out for about 5 years or so. And as I said, I think I started buying it around here, and of course I should have bought it, when it was down in the 6s. I may have bought a little bit, but I started getting worried that maybe I made a mistake, but obviously I'm quite happy. SoundHound. They are making money. I think that they finally became profitable recently. I don't have a whole lot in this, but up 26% today. Up 31% in 5 days, up 6% in the past month, down 11% in 6 months, down 32% year to date. In 1 year, though, you're up 160%, up 108% in the past 5 years. Okay, it's an interesting one. Voice artificial intelligence company. So, like, if you call up a company and they have AI that's trying to help you instead of a human, SoundHound does that. Obviously, the future is AI. Symbotic. This is an automated or a robotic warehouse automation company. I bought it a couple years ago. I'm quite happy. It spiked up after I bought it and then went down for a long time, but it's finally back, up 2.58% today. You see there's a big spike over here, then it dropped, of course, a little profit taking. Up almost 7% in the past week, up 21% in the past month, up 97% in the past 6 months. Year to date, 125, 150% up in the past year, 433% in the past 5 years. And you see it was a SPAC, one of the few SPACs that seemed to do well. Okay, we're back to VOOG. I'm going to end here. Do you own any of these? Have I sparked your interest in any of them? I'd love to hear from you. If you haven't already, hit subscribe, hit like, leave a comment. I read all of them. I respond to them eventually. And again, this is for entertainment purposes, not for investing advice. But take control of your future and start investing for the long run in well-diversified portfolios that you can set and forget until you retire. Thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate it.